Well, welcome. It is Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster. I'm Ray Lytle, along with my worst co-host, Jason. Or no, he was
second worst.
Second worst co-host. I'm with my worst co-host and my second worst co-host. That's what I'm broadcasting with today. So, congratulations, you guys have turned into a good show. I'll tell you that. If I've got my worst co-host and second worst co-host, you know it's turned into a good one. That's what's going on. Good morning, everybody. We are here on a Thursday morning. Last free show of the week. It's the early show today.
And the official start of the fair.
Yeah, then, of course, the fair parade is tonight, late this afternoon, and then it rolls into the fair. And we have our first subscriber show tonight. Oh my. Yeah. Not bad. Did Christina get with you guys the letter that I sent her about the concerts and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just so everybody, you can get your name in when you want to go and all that stuff. Because I don't know what concerts are coming first or any of that stuff. So, I don't know. My daughter hasn't even gotten her fair pass yet.
Oh boy.
She still hasn't gotten her. Still hasn't gotten her fair pass.
Oh boy.
She is still sick, so she hasn't been able to leave the house. So, yeah, I was hoping that she'd be able to get it today or something. Because I'm telling you, after the parade starts tonight, it's hard to get anything going in there. Oh, but yeah, you got to get plus the deadline to turn in all that information for the concerts is. When is that deadline, Christina?
It was
yesterday.
Oh, it was yesterday? Oh, Jesus.
Yep.
Oh, shit. Oh, well. Yeah. So, okay. What's the latest? Joe! What's the latest? What's going on? What is the latest? Was there another meltdown last night with Steve?
Oh, fuck no.
There wasn't?
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, I see.
There was.
Yeah, I see. Christina's microphone sounds horrible.
Is it still?
Yeah, it sounds like her setup is using the camera instead of the microphone for.
God.
Yeah.
Very unprofessional.
And people think I'm the worst fucking host. God damn it.
I have shit equipment, and you're still the worst.
We should do a new poll.
Shit equipment, you paid more for your equipment than I paid.
Yeah.
I'm running off of your equipment.
We should do a new poll. I was thinking of, we did the, Chris says, it sounds like Christina's hosting from the Walmart bathroom. Yeah, Christina, go to your settings, all right? Go to your settings in your StreamYard. Go to your settings.
StreamYard?
Yeah, and then click audio and see what your microphone is hooked up to. Go to your settings.
Why did it switch? Yeah, it's with the webcam.
We'll put it to the correct one. I mean, what a half-ass setup. It's like, hi, I'm Ray Lytle from a studio. That's Steve from a studio, Jason from a studio. And here's Christina from the Costco bathroom.
Uh-huh.
Is this better? Dump. Yeah, of course. That's not supposed
much
to
better.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it switched for some reason on its own. I don't know why.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you guys, it switched on its own. Yesterday, Ray was the goddamn computer.
Yeah. So Steve had a meltdown last night, or what got him going?
Stainless.
Was in a mood
Fucking
all day
stainless.
yesterday.
That fucking when there's no Jason, that fucking Stainless is a mess. I gotta tell you that. Oh my God.
I have a question.
Sorry. I had a meeting last night. I had to be there.
I have a question. Nobody asked.
Mess.
Did Dan save the person's life with CPR? They had to leave.
Good
No,
question. I don't know.
No, it seemed like he had a,
He wasn't going very long, so did they die? Or?
So you're saying that you think that Dan's patient died?
Well, he wasn't going very long.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think if he'd have saved their life, they would have been
Yeah, he might have already been dead when he got there.
Or would have been longer? Does it take longer to save a life or longer to let them die?
I would think it would take longer to save a life if you had to start out with CPR.
Yeah.
So, and he wasn't gone 5 minutes. So, and I mean, you got to run down the stairs of his house, and outside, and to the car, and then to the firehouse. So I'm pretty sure they were already dead.
Yeah. And Dan saved no one.
He saved no one. That's why he was back home. He said, well, shit, they're already dead. What'd you call me for?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah, that show was a mess. I was so angry. We were promoting it was going to be free on Facebook, and oh my God, it was going to be so cool. And then it turns into a giant turd. Oh my God, how embarrassing. I apologize to the Facebook audience last night.
I apologize too for having a meeting and having to miss.
Yes, you shouldn't do this because you're there. You're there when stuff like this happens.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Barry, what was your meeting for?
My wrestling.
Oh, I was going to say it better have been for something anonymous, like something you really need, you know?
Not for like.
Well, it concerned my wrestling company.
Well, just say it's some kind of
MacBook thing or something.
Yeah. I like when it should have been I'm reading the comments.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say, Brent, you weren't on very long, so I think you should probably stretch your
I
mouth.
thought Brent did good when he was on, but
he wasn't on very long, and he got cut off like that.
Well, Dan, of course, got very, Dan gave me the cut sign with Brent, and I was like, well, I wouldn't have cut him. I thought he was great, but
Okay.
Dan wants women adoring him while he does his show, so he had two women.
Yeah.
He was very happy. He had Christina and Amanda adoring him as we was doing the show. He was very happy.
Yes, I did hear Amanda joined in.
Yes, Amanda was on the show, and then she didn't know how to work the controls, and that's when I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm gonna go nuts if I
she called me when I was on my way to the meeting to figure out how to turn everything on.
I was like, I'm
little
not
Frodo.
Gonna,
She looks so tiny in your chair.
that was the best part was, and I can't remember who pointed out. Was it Jeff or somebody pointed? Or no, Corey. Somebody pointed out that it was like they were filming the Lord of the Rings movie. The way that they used the. I can't remember the words I'm looking for, but it looked. I don't know. It was pretty funny when she was in the chair. So, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, but it was horrible because we were doing a free sample on Facebook. You know what I mean? So I wanted, forced perspective. Yeah. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, we were doing a free sample on Facebook, so I was really hoping that Dan and Christina would have this great 20 minutes that would make people go, oh, I want to subscribe to that show so I can watch it every week, right? No. it was people going, "Oh my God, I never want to stumble upon this garbage again." It was
Why would I pay for this shit?
because Dan left. But however, I gotta say, the best part was how it started. The best part was how it started.
Oh,
because it was Dan. It was Dan dancing in the background. Did anybody? Did you
I
see
did.
it? Did you see it, Jason?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God!
He looks like one of those Santa Clauses, the animated Santa Claus things.
Yeah, just shaking his ass.
Oh my!
Wiggling his butt back and forth.
Yeah, it was hysterical. Hold on, I'm gonna share it. I'll share it so you guys can see it and you can figure out how to do this. That's how he started the show, was dancing. It just looked ridiculous, but it was pretty cool. All right, I want to put it up so you guys can see it. You ready? You guys could all see it, right? Look at it.
Yeah.
Look at him shaking his ass.
God.
That's how the show started, was Dan shaking his ass. That's what you...
It was great because he didn't know we went live.
Yeah, we were live and he's busy shaking his ass. Oh, God.
And Christina drinking beer.
There
Well, yeah.
There he goes with more ass shaking. That's how the show started. It was Dan shaking his ass. So
Dan has a new theme. Shake your booty.
yeah.
Shake, shake, shake.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty. Yeah, yeah.
Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah.
That's the easy song to remember.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I got my protein drink today. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. It tastes like heaven on earth. You notice I've convinced myself of these things, and I just tell myself that, and it gets me through, you know. I convince myself that things taste, better. Have you noticed that? I'm not complaining about the horrible taste of my drinks anymore.
You're back on Slim Fast ones now?
No, I am just throwing myself in face first. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. And then next Thursday, we weren't going to do a show because I had an 8 o'clock appointment.
Right.
But they called yesterday and they moved my appointment to 1:30.
Oh.
So we will have a show next Thursday.
Huh.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's kind of cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Dan. Sass. No one wants to see you.
I love semen.
Yeah. My stupid dog just broke in. Oh well. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. The end of the show yesterday was
Your love of semen?
no. I was going to talk about my plan to put, because you know that show the other night, Smoke Signals.
Yeah, it was a really good show.
The one that Steve was so. I thought Jeff was amazing on the show. I really do. I thought he was very good. But Steve was so high. He was so I don't even know how to describe it. Steve was so high that he would start talking. He would start talking about something, and then he'd forget what he was talking about. He would change subjects, but his energy level was pretty good until like he would be in the middle of something, and it would just. And then he'd get back to talking. It was just crazy. It was nuts. His eyes were slits. I mean, yeah, they were just.
Yeah.
He was so high during the show, and I was like, okay, I need to. And then he starts bitching afterwards, and says, "We need more listeners." So he sends me a thing over and says. We want to go free. We want to go free on Facebook so we can get more listeners. And I'm like, oh, Jesus, you want to go free on Facebook? Oh, my God. So, and then that's when Jeff was throwing out new rules about. He was throwing out new rules about how much how much they can't smoke, which, by the way, the show that prides itself on smoking pot all the way through.
Exactly.
They actually put a rule on Steve that said he had to take 25 or 45-minute breaks between puffs.
It's going to be a long-ass show then.
Because he was too high. It
Was it the new vape?
Yeah, I think it was he got that new vape that has. I'm sure it's empty now.
No shit, no. I didn't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't smoke after the show yesterday. I didn't smoke anything. Not all day.
We could tell by your breakdown.
No,
that was your problem.
Yeah, we could tell.
Don't ever do that again.
He had that, you guys. That's 90 proof. That's 90% or 89% THC.
Yep.
And he started the show by he hit that vape so many times to start the show. Did he just hit that vape again?
I think, yep. There we go.
Exhale, Steve.
Now he's had to turn off his mic because he's coughing so loud. You could turn on that mic.
Yeah,
we need to turn the mic on so we need to turn the mic on so we can hear the coughing. Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He hit that vape so many times on the show, like the first 15 minutes of smoke signals was him hitting that vape. And then he just got too high. You know, like 20 minutes later, it was like he was hypnotized. I can't even explain. He was just, totally subdued. So I want to give them, I want to put the show on to where the first so many minutes of is free. But I want to make sure that they're all, you know what I mean, that he's all, that he's good.
Coherent.
Yeah, and making sense in his conversation. Because like Jeff would make a good point. Like Steve would say something and Jeff would make a good point. And then it would be like Steve was listening to somebody else and having a conversation with him. It would just...
And also, if you're doing it free on Facebook, you probably should not be actively smoking during that preview, just because Facebook may take it down.
No, I don't know, because Illinois Stoners, they do theirs free on Facebook.
Yeah,
and they all
do
smoke.
It's not illegal to smoke pot on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. They always lighting something up, a dab rig or a blunt.
And then Bubba was just, you could tell Bubba was just trying to find spaces to jump in. Steve was sort of making sense of it all and trying. I mean, Jeff was sort of making sense of it all and trying to interweave, like a good co-host. But Steve was doing his own thing. And he was just not making any sense. None whatsoever. Corey wants to know if Steve, you've ever gotten so high that you get sick.
No.
No. Yeah. I'm telling you, it was, then they start talking about demolition derbies and just all kinds of nonsense. Yeah, so that's how high he was, so high. So I want to put them on, but I want to make sure that the show makes sense,
There you go. There's the idea for this week's song. You remember that song that was like, "She's so high, high above me. She's so lovely." That was the lines of it.
She's so high.
Yeah, that one. But it'd be Steve so high.
Steve so high. Yeah, I don't even know what the name of that song is.
I have to look it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeff says even the show killer checked out. Yeah, even I think it broke a record. It might have broke a record for most show that confounded people away, that just made them leave. Like people were just leaving. Oh my God. Yeah, so I want them to have I want to put a free, 15, 20 minutes on when they do the show, but we need to have more Jeff and Bubba and Steve having real conversations to have that happen, Not Steve hitting 90 proof vapes and going, yeah, so anyway, that's what happened. That's how he was doing it. Unbelievable. It was just crazy. Yeah, so I'm thinking of doing, and then the same with Stainless. I want to promote it and get people ready, and then make sure we don't have a CPR emergency here. And make sure we don't have a Steve meltdown, because it just becomes that it becomes somebody on Stainless saying something and then Steve arguing with them in the chat room.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan says, so Dan starts, they have notes where they read the notes of what happened in the past week of shows.
We don't have notes on Smoke Signals.
I'm just saying Stainless is more prepared than you.
We have to have notes.
We have Bubba in the news. What else is there?
Well, they have their entire show is planned out. They have notes of everything they do.
I was told it'd be cool to put Bubba, Fat 420, Jeff, and Steve together and let them smoke weed and talk. Okay,
well,
that's what
Jeff should have notes or something, like something that you guys follow.
Well, Jeff's pretty smart. He can come up with
like some kind of structure. So they would have their notes, and then they'd say, well, that's like, well, this week Steve suggested that people do blah, blah, blah. And Christina go, yeah, well, I had to go by his house because I clean his house. So I went by the house and then it'll be Steve going, you don't clean shit. You're the worst fucking housekeeper in the whole world. Fucking everybody hates me. Fuck all y'all. So it was just this craziness of Steve yelling at. He was yelling at Christina in the chat, and it was just insane.
Yeah. Fuck this show. I'm fucking leaving. And
yeah. And you had Amanda looking like a hobbit. It was crazy. I'm telling you. It was just nuts.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Steve messed up 2 shows this week or how it went down. All I know is the free show on Facebook was,
we didn't have a free show on Facebook yet.
No, and I'm saying you're not gonna until you can have a good show. And by the way, where one person, I'm only talking about one person on the show. Jeff and Bubba were both very, very good on the show. So there's only one person that needs to clean their shit up and get back to how they were when the show started. You could figure out who that is.
He's trying real hard.
Yeah.
Is he talking about me?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Brett, this is what Steve, there was one line last night. There was one line last night that Steve actually said. I can't even remember what they were talking about because I was trying to play MLB The Show.
I did, Brett. I did.
And I was listening to them, and then Dan and Christina they were talking about something, and then Steve starts arguing with them, and then they don't read what Steve says. Then you get Christina cussing him out, and it was crazy. But at one point, Steve goes, I talked to my dad today, and it put a lot of shit into perspective. Fuck all this shit, and fuck you too. He just starts cussing at everyone and going nuts, and oh my God. It was crazy. It was nuts. Yeah, so that was Steve on Stainless last night. Trying to contribute, I guess. Yeah, I don't know.
I believe the week before the comment was, wonder how come Steve doesn't comment in the chat room. I really miss Steve arguing with him in the chat room.
Well, there's one thing about
that last week because I didn't say anything, so y'all didn't know I was in the chat room. And like, well, fuck, I kind of miss Steve arguing with him in the chat room. And this week, I'm in the chat room and I'm arguing with him, and now I'm still fucking.
Yeah, but you go from one extreme to another.
Yes.
You're all
you go to the extreme.
It's called fucking bipolar. I am bipolar.
Fuck you.
I take medication for
you are very bipolar.
I take medication for it.
You are very bipolar.
Oh, I know I am. I have papers to prove it too.
I mean, my God. It's just crazy.
And that's where y'all people think I'm fucking crazy. That's where the weed fills in the gap. Yesterday I didn't smoke it yet, just a little bit. That's just something I don't even know why I did.
Well, we know you already started today with it, so
yeah.
Are you on the medication, or are you just deciding?
I take medication every day.
All right.
Twice a day. In the morning when I get up, and in the morning
All right.
Before I go to bed.
I think Irene's got a point.
Says
they might want to check your dosage.
Oh.
Well, we've been down that road. Yeah, maybe it needs it. I have no problem with the weed. You don't have a problem. I don't have. You people are the only ones that I go off on. I go off on my mom and everything else.
You need to stop. You need to stop attacking us. We're your friends.
Yes.
I mean, we all give each other shit. I mean,
I attack my brother because I don't speak to him but twice a fucking year.
You talk to your brother twice a year, and you get into.
Oh, like that. Yeah. I'm like, wait, with your brother, love you, bitch. He's like, what the fuck is the matter with you?
So you talk to your brother twice a year, and you argue with him. You fight with him.
Yeah. He's like,
well, I know
you need to go to the hospital.
You were fighting with Goose last week. He wasn't even on the show, and you were fighting. You were fighting with Goose last week. You're like, oh, that fucking Goose. And I'm like, he's in Chicago. He's not even here. You were fighting with him, and oh my God. All right, so yesterday, I did the poll, the worst co-host, the one that Steve won.
Yeah.
But here
talk about medication. Remind me, I had to take my anxiety pill.
Here was the biggest. This is on Facebook, with people making comments and people messaging me on Facebook. They said, without a doubt, worst member of any show I've ever done was Hillbilly Joe. And so that got me thinking, who has been the worst? He was never a show member. You know what I mean? He was never a co-host, but he might have been the worst caller of because I've been doing shows for a long time. I mean, we had the Lytle and Lamb show. We did Morning Disaster. You know, I've done Breaking Curfew.
Corey says the worst one of all time was Rage.
I did Chubby Ray. Now I've done this Morning Disaster show. So who's the worst caller? And Rage, yeah. Rage was pretty bad. When he would call the show, he was always terrible. Corey says Linus. Linus was a co-host though. But he would also call in. But Linus was a part of the show. He was a co-host, but he would be part of the show and he would also call in. But then when he would call in, he would try to get other people on the show pissed off. And he could always piss off Hillbilly Joe. He could always piss off Hillbilly Joe. And Jeff says he was dumber after listening to Sarah Jane whenever Sarah Jane would call in. So we're getting a lot of suggestions for who is the all-time worst caller to any Ray Lytle shows. So I'm thinking for the nominations list, because we should set up a new poll, Jason. We should set up a new poll and say, so I think worst callers or worst guest, I'm not sure what the hell we'd name it, but who has been the worst
you want to put this on Patreon or Facebook?
On Patreon. Then we'll put a link up on Facebook. Okay. Put it for public on Patreon. And I just want to figure out who the people are first that we're going to nominate. So, like Chris says, best caller by far was P.S. Bob. I thought P.S. Bob was really good. I thought P.S. Bob was really good because he would make Sean so angry. But then again, Sean would get very Sean would get really, really pissed off and stuff. start arguing with PS Bob. So if I had to think of the worst callers ever, it would be when I was in Peoria, there was a guy that called named Pothead Joe.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Who was he was so, every time he called, he was so stoned. And we called him Pothead Joe, and he was a great caller, but people would start getting annoyed at his calls. And Bong Master. So I mean, I'm just thinking back. There's so many people that called that were,
okay. Who do we want to put on this list?
Well, I'm saying for sure we want Hillbilly Joe. He was from Breaking Curfew. Hillbilly Joe from Breaking Curfew, because he's the first one I think of. Sarah Jane was from Breaking Curfew, Chubby Ray, Disaster Radio, and Morning Disaster. She's been on the last like 7 shows or something. I'm trying to think of who else makes that list. Like, who else was a worst caller? Drunk Brian. If you listen to the Morning Disaster in the 90s and 2000s, Drunk Brian was pretty good, as was Dog Food Lady. Dog Food Lady might get a bunch of votes. Dude, when I did talk radio, I would take calls from Dog Food Lady. And whoever was doing the news, oh my God, whoever was doing the news from on the WMAY side, they would get so pissed I was taking a Dog Food Lady call. This is not serious. I go, yeah, you're right. This is not serious radio. I go, yeah, fuck serious radio.
Right.
I hate serious radio. I want comedy radio. Oh my God. And then they'd have meetings. They'd have meetings with me. We just want to say that Dog Food Lady, I'm not sure Dog Food Lady should be on the show. You're not sure? Well, I just don't know if we should be taking a Dog Food Lady. Well, it's my show, and I think we should. Well, I'm not sure that we should be doing it. Okay, and then the next day I'd start the show. Hello, you're on the air. Hi, Ray, it's Dog Food Lady. And then I'd just go ahead and talk to her. And they'd be pissed off again until they finally told me, you're just not allowed to have her call. I loved it. And then I'd still take her. I don't care. I'd say, well, it's out of my control. I just pick up the phone. That's who's on it. Sorry. Yeah. So I need to come up with the actual list of who the worst callers were, just to see in a public free vote.
Well, I'm working on the poll right now.
Yeah. I want to find out
on the poll,
who the finalists are on the poll. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just want to, there was some conservative asshole that called him when I was on WMAY. What the fuck was that guy's name? But I liked him. But people would get pissed because he was a gun nut. And I'd put him on and and have fun with him, and they would get so pissed. You'll be talking to him, and then he makes a joke, and the the psycho abortion guy was on WMAY. And I'd put him on too. So I would put him on and they'd get really angry. And then I'd put that Tom guy on, and they'd get really angry at that. That was my favorite stuff, by the way. Putting people on that would piss everyone off. I loved it.
Yeah,
that was my favorite.
That's what Ray loves to do.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, so
it's a little circle.
So I'm just saying, let's get all those people up, as best callers of my career. You know what I mean? There had to be some more during the Lytle and Lamb show that were really memorable, but it was so long. It's so long ago. I can't even remember it.
You've done a lot of shows.
Mm-hmm. But you got to admit, when Sarah Jane calls in, it's kind of special for badness. I mean, just like Rage, when Rage calls in, it's especially bad. It's Becky says, wasn't there a fake? Yeah, there was a fake Bodine. He was a great call. Fake Bodine was a great caller, though.
Well, we should probably put some great callers on there too. And
we'll do another poll of who was the best caller to the show, and then the best caller will be, Louis, Fake Bodine. We've had some.
I masturbate in my bedroom.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Here was another one we had, Jason. There was a guy named Chavo. This is back when we were syndicated. There was a guy named Chavo, right? Chavo, this is a true story. He would call and talk about how he was going to women's houses whose husbands were serving over.
Oh God!
Whose husbands were serving overseas, and he would talk about how he'd go by the house and plow their wives,
the lonely wives.
Oh my God, he would make people so angry. I mean, when he would call the show, listeners would call up and say, I'm gonna find out where that son of a bitch lives. I'll find out who that son of a bitch is. I'm gonna kick his ass. I mean, he would make people so angry. Pete says, was he recently featured on the Daily? Yeah, I put a Chavo call on Daily Disaster about a month ago. By the way, Dan was on yesterday's Morning Disaster with To Tell the Truth. Oh my God, that Chavo was crazy. That Chavo was nuts, man.
Well, so far I have at least 6 options for the poll.
Oh yeah, I like
Billy Joe.
All right,
Sarah Jane, Drunk Brian, Dog Food Lady, Rage, and Chavo.
Those are good so far. Yeah, those are good so far. You should put what was that guy's name? Tom. That guy on WMAY that he probably still calls Jim Leach, but he loved to call, and that psycho abort, the PA guy was crazy too. Psycho abortion guy. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that should go up before we put it public and just let people vote. It would have to be. I mean, I'm guessing it would have to be. I'm guessing Hillbilly Joe would, Yeah, Corey's. Hello, Ray. Come on, Ray. Hello, Ray. Yeah, what the hell was that guy's name? Tom Schaefer. Tom Schaefer. It was Tom Schaefer. Jason, put him on the list.
Okay, he's on there.
Tom Schaefer was when I was on WMAY, and I disagreed with him. I disagree. Oh, Squint says callers who would piss off Nikki. Oh yeah, there were plenty of callers that pissed off Nikki. There were co-hosts on the show that pissed off Nikki. Oh, we had one person that Nikki hated so much. I'll never publicly talk about it, but there was one person on the show Nikki fucking hated. She hated him. She would call and say, that guy's pathological. Fuck that guy. Oh my God. She would get so mad. But he was not a caller, he was a co-host. But Nikki could get so I love Nikki, but she would get so angry at certain things. I miss her so much. Our Nikki. Oh my God, she was so great. All right, so we're adding Tom Schaefer.
Yes.
So
we're at 7 now.
That seems. Steve, do you remember anybody from the Morning Disaster days who was so good that?
No, I'm trying to think.
I mean, I was thinking Drunk Brian.
Yeah, Drunk Brian. Yeah,
he's already on the list.
He was one of those guys that would call in that everybody would hate. I was thinking the two from the Morning Disaster days. I'm thinking the two best were Drunk Brian and Dog Food Lady.
Oh yeah.
But I loved both of them. I really loved both of them. They were fantastic. It's got to be somebody I'm missing. Of course, Rage was annoying on the show. I'll tell you, when we do a worst show members of all Ray Lytle shows, the worst show members, I think Rage could win it. The worst show of all the shows I've done, if you put Rage, I think he could win. I really do. And we got to do that one soon. All right, Jason, give me the final 7 or whatever you picked.
Okay, the final 7 that we have are in not any specific order. Hillbilly Joe, Sarah Jane, Drunk Brian, Dog Food Lady, Rage, Chavo, and Tom Schaefer.
Boy, that seems pretty good. And how do you have the question worded?
I have, who is the all-time worst caller to call into any show hosted by Ray?
I would say to any Ray Lytle shows, just to shorten the word, the verbiage. And I'm trying to go back to the Lytle and Lamb days, and I can't think of who the worst was. Should I text Balint and see if he has anybody else?
He'll add P.S. Bob.
Yeah, but I thought P.S. Bob was one of the best callers.
Yeah, but not to Sean, he wasn't.
I thought P.S. Bob was one of the best callers that we ever had. That's what I thought.
I'm sure Sean would disagree.
Let me send him a message to Sean. I'll say who is the worst? Morning Disaster regular caller. And we'll see who he says. So, Jason, you predict it would be.
I predict he's going to say P.S. Bob.
You predict it'll be P.S. Bob?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to go dog.
That's assuming he doesn't say one of the ones that's already on our list.
I think it'd be Dog Food Lady, but I don't know. I'm going to send it to him to see if he's got an idea. If he's got a vote. Because I like your list, and we can make your poll public. And then we'll share it on Facebook and, just to where anybody from anywhere can log in. So just put it public,
Corey's asking, what about
Miss Kitty? Miss Kitty was a pretty bad caller too. But she was nice. She like Hillbilly Joe was not nice. He was crazy. He was nuts. But I love when Joe. I love interviewing him, and
No, Irene. Miss Kitty was
married
wife.
to Hillbilly Joe. She was a victim, though, and he forced her to make porn movies. Oh my God. But I'll tell you, my favorite Miss Kitty.
Each other on the air.
Well, that was when we started doing this show. They had broken up, remember? Mm-hmm. And then they would go back. I thought those were the best, when after she had left him.
Yeah.
And
and then he married his new younger wife.
Well, yeah, but I thought that was the best, is because she would call in, and she's the one that we got that tape of him going, well, he's got a little pecker. That's Miss Kitty. That's Miss Kitty that says that. That was when Joe was on the phone with me. Joe was on the phone with me talking about how much he pleases women, and she starts yelling at him in the background, and he's and he's talking about how well he pleases his women. If you hear, she goes, and he's got a little pecker. I love Miss Kitty. She was
to be held reliable.
That's when Joe turns to her and tells her to shut up, or she'll be held reliable.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And then when Hillbilly Joe, Miss Kitty, I think we should not be laughing about this, but Miss Kitty tells Joe that some family member raped her or something, and then he forces her to write an apology.
To write an apology letter to him for being assaulted by
which is horrible.
His family
we
member.
We should not be laughing about this, but he forces her to do it. Which is why I love I feel sorry for Miss Kitty, but I love when she finally got a backbone and started talking to, and now she ended up leaving Joe, and she married some really nice guy, and she sends me, we communicate often. She sends me letters on Messenger and stuff all the time. In fact, she just sent me a really nice one about, she's in college now, and she wrote a paper about public speaking, and she mentioned me in the letter that she'd in one of her reports, and I felt very good, you know what I mean? But I loved when she called in and would, but I'm just so happy for her to be moved on and to be happy now and all that stuff. Oh my God. He's got a little pecker. And she lives now in Texas. And She seems happy and God damn. All right. So all-time worst callers are Hillbilly Joe, Sarah Jane, Drunk Brian, Rage,
Dog Food Lady,
Chavo,
and Tom
Schaefer. Is that it?
That's all I have, unless anybody else has.
Is there anyone else I should add? Still waiting for Sean to. Still waiting for Sean to text back, but he is not. So.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That, or he'll make the reply all about him. Well, my least favorite caller, that always pointed out how lonely and sad I was that.
Yeah, that does sound. That sounds exactly Bob. It sounds exactly what Sean would do. He would go out of his way. Oh my God. Yeah, I like that. Let's go ahead, Jason. Let's make it public.
Okay.
And then get people voting in at the Patreon poll for today. And then I'm going to share it all over social media so people could vote. And since it's free, make it public so it's free so anybody could vote on it. You know what I mean? Not just subscribers.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
I love subscribers, but I want to let anyone vote on this. Oh my God. And by the way, I think Hillbilly Joe will win it hands down. I really do.
Oh, I'm sure.
I really do. All right, let's see. I'm going to post it to Facebook. I'm going to post it to Twitter. Somebody put it on the Morning Disaster page, will you?
Yeah, I will here in a second. I just had to copy the link so that I could.
Yeah. I love it. Oh, Bulent just emailed me back or just texted me back. Now that we went live with the poll, of course.
Who did he say?
He goes, oh my God. He goes, so many. He goes, it's too tough to pick just one. So, and then the votes will start. So you guys go ahead and vote. Go ahead and vote. By the way, I noticed, speaking of Facebook, I noticed Christina put her kid in that cage. Oh my God. How embarrassing. Her poor child.
He freaking loved it. He was grinning ear to ear, and I asked him, are you having fun back there? And he's like, yeah. He wants to go every day. So he loved it.
How terrible.
It made for a very difficult ride, but
oh, it was difficult.
It was hard. Like I didn't think.
Well, you're pulling weight, yeah.
Yeah, he's
the same woman that says she can push me around the fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Push you around, fucker. I pushed your truck the other day.
I pushed your truck.
You.
Okay, the link's on the Facebook.
Awesome. Yeah, I just want everybody to vote. Who was the worst caller to any Ray Lytle show. To any show we've ever done. So get the votes coming, people. Go ahead and make them. Yeah, I see the picture of Christina put a picture up of her pulling her kid. And Sean, by the way, says the Sean hater. There's a guy that called himself Sean Hater. Yeah, Hater was pretty bad. He said that was by far the worst caller. If you guys remember him. That was a guy we called Hater.
Right.
Yeah, he was pretty bad. But he was not memorable. That's why, you know. And Sean also hated the personal call for Jim. But I loved personal call. Personal call for Jim was great. And that was never just one person.
I'm pretty sure Sean's least favorite call, though, was a call out that always happened to check his bank balance.
Oh, my God. Yeah, when he would do it on the air. Good old Sean.
Your account is $10.37. Overdrawn.
Yeah. Yeah, so Christina was pulling her child along. She puts this kid in a little cage, and then she pulls him along. She pulls him along on his bicycle. The poor kid, poor baby.
No, it's not poor baby. He loved it.
And yet you're riding and you're fine with that? You're pushing along an extra 50 pounds.
Hey, makes for a better workout.
So you're fine
Lance
with
would
it.
be proud.
So you're going to you're going to follow Lance's recommendations now?
Yeah. Isn't he the expert?
Swear
the,
to God. Swear to God. I swear to God.
My legs will definitely be strong. I felt it this morning.
Yeah.
Good God.
Well, we already have 7 votes.
They're already voting? I'm guessing Hillbilly Joe's going to be.
I've already voted.
Oh, really? I know there's a lot of hatred for Hillbilly Joe.
There's the current results.
What are they? Yeah, Hillbilly Joe's winning 71%. Not shocking. Not shocking. Jeff says I should call DC. Jeff says I should call DCFS on behalf of Christina's child.
1-800-25-ABUSE.
Drunk Brian is a close second at 29%.
Good Lord.
I was told he cleaned up his act. I was told a few years ago that he stopped drinking and got himself sober and fell in love with someone. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
But only if you remember. If you don't remember him, it's not you know. It won't do anything for you. But if you remember him, you're shocked. You're shocked. I'm gonna take a picture of the poll and send to Sean so he could see who was on the list.
Well, here, I'll just send you a screenshot.
Yeah.
And then you can send that to him.
That'd be cool.
It'd be better quality.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mon Frere. Good old Shawnee B. All right, so I'm predicting that Hillbilly Joe would Hillbilly Joe could win this. But let's see. It's public, it's open. It's free. Can somebody who's not a subscriber go and let me know if it is free?
I made it public, so
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's So just want to make sure it is. Oh, there's Christina's sister, barely dressed, putting pictures up on Facebook again.
Imagine that.
Oh, there's another one.
Jason, where?
Boy, she loves putting those barely dressed photos up.
Yes, she does.
Not a lot of humility in that girl. Well, then you got Christina. I questioned their mother. And you got Christina putting up pictures of their child in a cage. Poor child. Oh boy. I'm seeing a lot of kids going back to college and a lot of kids going back to high school. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. They put their pictures up of their,
Yeah. That time to start wearing long pants when I go out for drives.
Why?
Ray, I sent you that picture in the disaster.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Group feed.
Well, Steve, you think it's almost fall or something?
No, I just. No.
Oh, okay. I just, when you said, here, I'll tell you something. I love wearing shorts. I love shorts. It's because I love summer. You know what I mean? My favorite time of year is summer. But I love
this summer.
I love wearing shorts. So when I go work out, I love to wear shorts. So I'm going in somewhere hot and I'm going to sweat my ass off. And but here's the deal.
Right.
Here's the deal. Would you like to guess what I'm going to say, Christina?
I'm
going to see if you guys could figure out where I'm going to go with this before I go.
I don't know exactly where you're going to go with it.
Christina, any idea where I'm going to go?
No.
What do you think, Steve?
I think you're going to go with those sweating and you get cold and hot.
No. I love to wear shorts.
No.
Every morning, I get dressed, right? And when I get dressed, my wife tosses. She goes to my dresser. She pulls out underwear, boom, throws them on me. Socks, throws them on me. She pulls out my shorts, throws them on me. And then she'll throw a t-shirt and an overshirt. You know what I mean? And that's what I put on to come down and do the show and then go work out afterwards. She stopped throwing shorts at me. She started throwing sweatpants. Of which I don't like wearing sweatpants. I like wearing shorts when I work out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And so I go, listen, why do you throw sweatpants at me? Every day I'm wearing sweatpants instead of wearing shorts, because I'm like, well, I'm going to I'll keep my shorts in a drawer near my bed so I can put them on when I wake up, And she says, no, because you need sweatpants. I go, why do I need sweatpants? She goes, because your daughter needs a cold house for her condition.
Oh, shit.
And she goes, when you wear those shorts, you come in all sweaty. And then you have to put blankets on you when you're trying to sit down and watch TV. And I said, I have to put blankets on because it's so fucking cold in this house. She goes, well, the sweatpants will keep you warm. And I'm like, it's 90 fucking 5 degrees outside. I'm the only dick in this entire fucking town wearing a fucking blanket. My wife says, when you're wearing shorts, you get too cold. I'm like, oh my God. So she says, wear your sweatpants. Which is crazy. What's the temperature going to be like today?
Somewhere in the 90s, I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be over 90.
No, not today. Oh, in the 80s.
Hang on.
It's ridiculous.
82.
Expected high of 85 today.
Jesus. I got my sweatpants on.
Oh,
78 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be
Yeah, with some nice weather, yeah. 78 tomorrow and Saturday. 85 Sunday.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll be wearing sweatpants today. I got my sweatpants on. Because my house is fucking out. It's just outrageous. I can't even and then she'll get if she listens to the show and hears this, she'll be pissed off. Why are you talking about that? I'll be like, what? Why are you talking? Why are you talking about your shorts? Like, what's part of my life? I have to talk about it, you know. It's what it's about, you know. Oh, well. Yeah. So, anyway, I'm wearing sweatpants. That's what I wear. That's what I wear when it's 90 degrees outside. So that way I don't need the blanket. Because it bothers my wife. It bothers my wife. It bothers her when she comes in from the sweltering heat and she sees me laying with a blanket on. It bothers her.
Isn't that what blankets are for?
I don't get it. My daughter has. My daughter does have a condition where she needs to have a cold. I understand that.
Right.
We have a separate air conditioner for her. Okay? Why don't we take the separate air conditioner and put it in her room?
Yeah.
And then seal that door.
Good point. Right.
So the rest of the house isn't below zero. You know what I mean? But nobody wants to listen to my ideas. Oh, well. Oh, well. But I don't need to wear shorts. But I love wearing shorts, and I hate the fact that I can't wear them. That I've got to wear sweatpants all the time. So I'm going to start getting my own clothes or something. And,
Corey says CWLP loves your house in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Your house helps keep them in the black.
And by the way, She hides those bills. She hides those bills from me. I know those fucking bills are outrageous. And I know she's hiding them from me.
Oh, I'm sure she is.
Yeah. I swear to God. This house is so fucking cold.
She probably went papers and have it sent to her email.
Damn you.
Yeah. You know those bills are hidden from me. Oh, one of these days I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out what those bills are.
Freaking $600
one of these days.
a month.
One of these days. One of these days. One of these days, my daughter's going to move out and she's going to try to keep the house cold. And I'm going to go, I knew it wasn't her.
Right?
See, I know who the real culprit is. I know exactly who it is.
So far, we're up to 8 votes.
Well, keep the votes coming in. 8 is embarrassing.
8.
I'd rather not even announce that. That's embarrassing.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of candidates that don't have a vote yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's just embarrassing. Ridiculous. Unbelievable. Yeah, somebody go ahead and vote. Everyone should vote. I mean, who's not voting?
Right, exactly.
Who the hell do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Too good to vote? Vote, vote, vote.
It is pretty split though at 75% and 25%.
That's not split. No, that's a blowout. I mean, it's a 75%. It's a blowout.
I mean, just those two people have all the votes, though.
Yeah. Nobody else has even gotten a vote. Oh well. We should probably wrap it up today, guys. We got another show tonight, everybody. We got another show at 6:00 tonight.
Oh shit! You do?
Yeah, it's a subscriber show.
Yeah, it's Thursday, Steve.
We'll keep the poll going all day, and
yeah,
we'll reveal the final results.
Keep the poll going. Keep it going. Sean says that Drunk Brian was an awful phone caller, but he was strangely very good when he would be on the show. Yeah, I agree. Drunk Brian, we would do these things where we would have Diggs and Marvin go out and do street stuff, and then they would go to Drunk Brian's house. They would go to Drunk Brian's house, and Drunk Brian would start inviting the neighbors and all the people that lived in his home over to his house to have a party.
Oh my God.
At 7:30 in the morning. They would throw parties at 7:30 in the morning during the morning disaster. This is like 99, 2000, 2001. We would have I remember once we go to check in live with Marvin, right? It was Marvin and Diggs. We go to check in live with them, and in the background you hear I'm hearing DJ music, and I'm going, what is that music? And Marvin goes, oh, that's the DJ. I'm like, the DJ at 7:50 in the morning. Oh yeah, Ray, he's got the DJ music going. And then you hear people, it was crazy. You heard people mumbling and talking and dancing and I go, how many people there? Oh, it's not that busy. About 75. And I'm like, where in the fuck did you find 75 people to have a party at 7:48 in the morning? And then Diggs is like, Marvin's 3 sheets of the wind. And I go, what? He goes, oh, he's been drinking a lot. I'm like, he's been drinking a lot. He goes, oh, he's had like 7 beers. And I'm like, Jesus, he's already had 7 beers. And he goes, yeah. And he's only had a few whiskeys, though. And this is like at 7 something in the morning. They were having this crazy party at Drunk Brian's house. So, yeah. Oh, well. All right. And Corey's bragging because he won his MLB games last night.
Big deal. I won mine, too.
Yeah, he beat me last night. So one of those.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you, I wanted to play.
I was in the middle of a game with Easy.
I played Easy, and then I couldn't get another game.
Well, as soon as you got done with Easy, I grabbed Easy. Well, and then you tried to invite me twice. I'm in the middle of the game.
You guys play at like 11 o'clock and midnight and stuff. It's too late for me.
Well,
I'm there like after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm there all day. Nobody's ever in there.
Oh, no, nobody gets in until like 6, 7 o'clock.
Oh, Dan won a game last night. Way to go, Dan.
Yeah, he beat me.
Dan's getting
last night.
Dan's getting better, isn't he?
He is.
I told you people would get better. They start to improve.
First time we played, I stomped his ass, and now, he's beat me last couple, I think. But
Steve's beating people too.
I lost 3 games last night.
Can I make a suggestion, Christina? And I had
stop
to
swinging at everything. Yes, I know.
Swinging at everything. I was throwing things so far off the plate. Your guy was moving out of the way to swing.
Yeah,
I know it's hard. It's taking me a long. I still do it too.
The key is patience. You've got to be patient.
Yeah, I know. And after I do it, I'm like, why the fuck did I swing at that? Why?
That was my only thing with you. I'm like, fuck, it's just easy out there. I'll just throw them fucking inside, outside the fucking box. She'll swing at everything. So,
yep. That's the key. It's all timing.
Every once in a while, I'll throw one right down the middle. She blasts at 7. Fuck you, shit.
All right, let's wrap it up. We'll come back tonight, give you another show at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much for listening today. Keep voting in the poll. Spread the poll. Share the poll. Let people know. I expect some votes for worst caller of all time.
We're up to 9
Who is
now.
the worst caller? All right. Hillbilly Joe leading at 78%. All right, we'll talk to you guys later. So long, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.